This should be interesting. I love it. Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Toyilope Solutions. Toyilope Adejumo Solutions. Oh joy. I film about faith, marriage and lifestyle from Lagos, Nigeria. And before we jump into today's video, let us first support this month's recipient of Solutions intro.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Remy. On my channel, I discuss on faith, lifestyle and development. So if you're interested in any of those things, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And on my YouTube channel page, in the About section, you can see more detail of what my channel is all about. Essentially, I'm talking about Jesus, the Bible, professional development, personal development, women empowerment, and some lifestyle vlogs from time to time. So please check out my channel and please subscribe. Thank you all. Bye.
Please love up on her, subscribe to the YouTube channel and all the good stuff. The link will be in the description below. So as you can already tell by the title, in today's video I'm going to be gisting you guys about how I landed my first job, paying 6 figures. How? I didn't have no connections, I didn't have no sugar daddy, only the one above. His leg is longer because he sits in the heavens, it makes the earth his footstool, you know. I didn't have nothing, okay. I literally just packed my bag from Akure, went all the way to Abuja. I think that has to be like the longest road trip of my life yet. I'm like, when are we going to get here? Anyway, without further ado, let us jump right into the video. So I finished from Bowen University in 2011. That's like 9 years ago. Oh my god, like this life. Anyway, April 2011 precisely, and thankfully, as God will have it, it was our set that they started the you serve in the year that you finish school thing in my uni. So I literally finished school in April and I went to camp in, I think, July of the same year. Yeah, I think so. So anyway, right after school, I went home to my parents in Akure, and we're talking about, oh, where do you want to serve and things like that. So I told my mom that I really want to serve in Abuja. I think she was actually the one that gingered me. Oh, Abuja won't be bad. For one, backstory, while I was in school though, I did my IT in the bank in Akure. So I was living with my parents, and that lasted for 6 whole months. You know, I was working and stuff like that. And then I was like, well, it's even younger, maybe like 16 or something. Anyway, so my mom was like, oh, Abuja won't be a bad idea. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Anyway, the list came out and I got posted to Abuja. But before the list even came out, she's like, oh, but who do you know in Abuja? So I told my mom, I know somebody, Moriah, shout out to you, my plug. My friend, we're in the same clique in uni. So I told mom, oh, I know Moriah, obviously, she even knew Moriah. So I'm like, let me just go and test the waters. Let me go to Abuja and see Moriah. She's going to let me stay in a house. So I called her, babe, I want to come and spend like a week with you. Hope your parents will mind. She's like, oh, come through. So I carried my bags, mom. At this time, I was not even posted to Abuja yet. It was just a case of, okay, go and do John the Baptist for yourself, go and test the waters for yourself. So I carried my bags and off to Abuja I go. I sat in that car. Apparently now, obviously, I haven't like been back and forth. I know that it's about 5 to 6 hours, but it felt like a 10-hour drive that day. I'm like, I'd never been there before, so all I had was Mariah's phone number, and I'm like, what is going on? Anyway, eventually I got to Abuja by the grace of God, and she came to pick me up. We went to her dad's office, and then we eventually got home. I met her parents and things like that. So I spent a whole week in a house of doing nothing really. It's not like we explored a lot. At least I was shy in Abuja, right? That's how when I went back home, I'm like, I'm definitely going to serve in Abuja, okay? And then I got posted to Abuja for my NYSC. That's how they now said your camp will be in Kaduna because Abuja camp is full. Anyway, our 3 weeks drilling camp, of which I did Miss NYC, was in Kaduna. So after that, we came back to Abuja, and that was where it all began. Now, my PPA, which is like place of primary assignment after your NYC, at this stage I'd clocked 18 the November before I graduated in April. So I was still like 18, right? And then I was 7, I was still 18 because our NYC was in July. So after NYC, it was a case of, so where are you going to work? They posted me to NAPEP. It's a federal ministry here in Nigeria. But seeing the name, I'm like, it's not me. I'm not going to waste my whole 1 year. Not like waste, but because I had ambitions, because I had ambitions, I knew like, oh, I wanted to get into the corporate world early. So I'm like, I'm not going to take this napep. I'm sorry. Let's see what we can do. So my parents had a tenant that, was working with Wema Bank. So they were like, oh, let's call this person up. Maybe they can hook you up and stuff like that. And I'm so thankful for the gift of my parents. They actually drove all the way to Abuja as well. After they had spoken to this person, they came all the way to Abuja. They were with me in the NYC secretariat in Abuja, where I was trying to change my PPA from, Wema Bank from NAPEP to Wema Bank. They stayed with me. My father was even trying to use connection that he did not have. He saw one man, he called the guy's name by what was written on the shirt. You think they go way back? Anyway, I eventually got my letter to Wema Bank. They followed me. I mean, I was like, I'm a big girl, but at the same time I had to remind myself that, fam, you're 18, right? So they followed me and we went to the Wema Bank head office, and that's how I landed my first job in the corporate world, like proper, even though it was still contract, right? And at this point, remember that I was still 18. So I think Wema Bank was paying me 25k, and my parents went back. All was fine. I was living with my uncle, and everything was good, right? Now, let me say that I actually wanted to work in a particular bank, not Wema Bank. I wanted to work in this bank so badly, and that's because I had done my IT in the same bank. So I reached out to my operations head when I was doing my IT, and she was like, oh, she's no more with the bank, but there's somebody in the north that she could connect me with and things like that. So I mean, I was working in Wema Bank, but at the same time, every day I was still trying to get into this bank. That's how one day my other sister she just called me that, oh, she had a friend that just finished her NYC and she was a copper in this bank I really wanted to work at. So I'm like, oh my god, maybe she can help me, maybe I can replace her or whatever. So I called her a friend, Donyi. Shout out to you too. Donyi is in America now. So I'm like, oh Donyi, please, whatever you can do to help me, I'll be so grateful. This person has said I should go and meet this person before, but it didn't work out. Is there anything you can do for me? So she told me, okay, the CIS head in that branch is capable of requesting for you, but your PPA needs to be GT Bank. So I'm like, how many PPA do I want to collect from federal government? I had collected NAPEP, changed it to Wema Bank. Now I had to go and also GT Bank again. But anyway, I didn't let that stop me because I knew what I wanted, right? And I feel like that's the advantage. At that point, I really wanted to work in this bank because obviously they were the highest paying bank. So for me, money was the motivation. Anyway, so I started to work out getting my PPA to GT Bank again, and to the glory of God and the favor of my life, that actually was so swift. I got it, and I was like 3 months into my Wema Bank job already. But obviously, when I told my parents salary was ×2, they're like, girl, go for it. So randomly I walked into this bank, said the whole story of how they had referred me from someone before, and then I asked for the person and said that, oh, Donyi said I should ask for you, and they were like, oh wait, so you're the same person Donyi is talking about? Because when I approached him and I said I'm from this person, they were like, oh no, sorry, somebody, our ex-cop already recommended somebody. So I'm like, I'm the same person, it's me. It's me that Donyi was talking about. So that was quite like a beautiful coincidence. They're like, okay, fine, since 2 people are recommending you, just bring your PPA letter. And I had it handy, I just gave it to them, and that was how I resumed this job. Now 1 year went by so fast, obviously, because I was a copper with a difference, okay, if I do say so myself. But I'm so thankful for all the relationships in that bank. Thinking about it now, I met a lot of people, maybe because I was in the area or head office or whatever they call it. I met a lot of people right there. I was doing one petty business. My sister was schooling in the UK. She would send me stuff, so I'll sell to all my colleagues and things like that. And then there were even some boys or men, they were trying to and I'm like, nah. Anyway, so but I mean, I enjoyed that 1 year, and then by the time the year was coming to an end, in fact, I was the first copper that they gave some like sensitive responsibilities to, because they saw the way I was like handling my business, right? So my supervisor started to say that, oh, you need to start applying for the entry level job immediately you're done with in fact, before you're done with your NYC, you need to start applying for the entry level job. And I'm like, me work full-time in a bank, God forbid. And obviously I didn't want to go and do my masters because I wanted to stay in Abuja because of that story for another day. My father was like, you have to go and do your masters like your sister right after your NYC. I'm like, I'm not going. And I knew that for me not to go, I had to secure a job, right? So I channeled all my energy into getting a job. But guys, all the jobs I was getting, they will say come to hotel, they will say you have to know somebody, and I was here in this bank, and it seemed like, why are you not submitting your CV? I was like, no, can you see people, like, you guys, the job is so stressful. As a copper, sometimes I still close by 9 or 8. I have to be explaining to my uncle where I've been. How do you want me to live a life like this? And then that's how I love me some challenge, right? And I'm thankful for that. My supervisor, she was like, I think you're running away from this test because you think you won't pass it. I'm like, what? You don't know who you're talking to? I'm gonna take the test. So for me, taking the test was actually even a divine coincidence, because again, I didn't plan to actually work in the bank. But for me, that's how, line upon line, precept upon precept, I took the test eventually, and to the glory of God, see, after my NYC, I even went back to see my parents in Akure. I came back to Abuja. They actually moved the entry level test because of me, because of the connection I had made as a copper. The person was like, oh, you're not going to do this test, you're going to do it. There's supposed to be a test on Monday. I'm going to move it because you're in Akure to Thursday. So they shall moved it. And then I came, I did the test. That test was another testimony. My laptop, like the computer I was supposed to be using, just went off. So I had to stay till the end. Like, I was one of the first people that got there. So I was one of the first people they put in the first batch. But my computer did not come on. So I had to stay till, like, if I remember vividly, maybe 6:30 p.m. before I was able to write my own test. And I'm thankful for that, because people had come out, information was flying everywhere, things, current affairs especially, that was my weakness. It still is. I was able to get some information, and when I entered, it helped me. Call it whatever you want. For me, that's just God's way of favor, because it's not like I went to be asking people. The information was just there where I was sitting. I was just hearing people say, they asked this, they asked this, because different batches had entered right before I eventually took mine. Anyway, to the glory of God, I passed, and that's how I landed my first job. When they said come and collect your offer letter, you had passed, to me it was still like a dream. And then every other thing I thought, oh, once I'm done with NYC, this is what I'm going to be doing in this federal parastatal, blah blah blah, I was going to do. Nothing was forthcoming, because everybody was attaching a human favor. I mean, it would have been places where even my parents would have found unbelievable that I was able to get into. But the things I had to do to get there wasn't pleasing to God or me. So I'm like, I'd rather be doing sufferhead, in quotes, in this bank, as the pay was good, right? 6 figures as a 19-year-old. At this time I turned 19, right? So I was earning 6 figures as a 19-year-old. Like, what is life? If I don't stress the stress now, when will I stress the stress? And I feel like for me, that's the beauty of process, being able to know that, okay, if I have time on my hands to do this right now. So I said something to one of my mentees recently, that sometimes you do some things you don't like, which will eventually lead you to the things that you do like. And for me, that's the beautiful story of working in the bank. Anyway, I eventually landed the job, and as against posting me to where I was, like the department I was posted to marketing, guys. Well, before we even get to that marketing, we had to go through a 4-month training school, where if you didn't get a particular cutoff, you would actually be dropped. There were like, I think 2 or 3 people that didn't make it through. After passing the entrance exam, you now do this test. Tedious stuff. Anyway, so we did it, and to the glory of God, I came third. Bolu was first, Finyi was second, and then I came third in my class. It was a beautiful moment for me, because seeing my supervisor see me like that, like me, that they said that it's because you don't want to pass, you feel like you won't pass, that you are writing the test. I'm like, girl, forget passing. Small thing, we pass training school as third students, Anyway, so that was the beginning of my journey. And for me, that training school was a season in my life. I remember I'll be getting there like 6 a.m, some days 5:30 a.m. There was a particular friend that was living like an estate behind mine, but boy, the road of his estate was nothing to write home about. So I took it upon myself. I'll be picking him up every morning at around 5, just so that we got to school early. We needed to study and things like that. So for me, I feel like that's one of the major seeds in my life that I'd sown, because it wasn't easy. Even though it was behind me, I knew the expenses that thing was giving my car, So for me, it was just one of those things that I was doing. To be honest, I didn't even really understand the faith concept. It was just out of a nice heart that I'm like, okay, if you're behind my house, it's just going to take me 15 or 20 minutes earlier. Let's make the world a better place. I remember my mom will always say, sometimes when I have an exam and I get to class maybe like 6, she said, hey, when you become president tomorrow, when you become very successful tomorrow, people should not be saying that you landed on your lap. So see all this suffering. Obviously I appreciate that, and I get exactly what she's, where she's coming from, but it just shows to say that process is something. Anyway, so I landed that job, and I was in marketing for a good 4.5 years. No, I was in marketing actually for 3 years plus my NYC. That's 4 years, and then I went for my master's. So for me, getting that job so young, and seeing that it was on that job that I met somebody that helped me get this job that I'm in now, it's just the beauty of process. It's a case of, this is where I've always wanted to be, right? But I had to be here. I had to be at this point to meet the person that would bring me here. If out of laziness I'd said that, oh, I'm not going to work here and things like that, is there a possibility that I would have met that lady? I don't think so, And even if I did, maybe it would have taken longer. It just goes to say that the way processes work, you can never ever underestimate the power of it. So I'm just so thankful, because for me, I did a video on my MBA recently, and like all the knowledge that I got from working in the back, even though it was tedious, let me just tell you, because after my NYC, I left my uncle's house, I started living alone. That's another thing. I started sharing a flat with one of my friends. We first rented it for 6 months, and this was before I got the job. We first rented it for 6 months, and see, this job, and I feel like that's another thing. God will land some things on your laps when he knows that you're going to be a blessing with it. I just spoke about the friend I was speaking right on this job. In the few years I spent, I feel like I was able to secure the same job for at least 4 people. The girl that we rented the apartment together, I met her randomly in church. It was me that was helping her submit her CV. Randomly, I called one of my friends, and I'm like, how are you? She was in Ibadan at the time. What's going on? What are you doing with life? This was like, I was already like a year being a full staff in this place, earning 6 figures. In fact, my salary was about, back then in 2012, my salary was about 215k. Yeah, then I got promoted after 2 years, and then it almost doubled. But at that time, my salary was 215k. Like, what is life? I was just balling. My parents gave me a car, So for me, I met that girl in church. That's what I was saying. I met her in church. I got her the job. I think I've said that. That other girl, I just called her and I'm like, what are you doing? Do you? And she was like, oh, she's working in an IT firm. They pay her 25,000. And for me, that was a sound reality check. See, I'm not going to obvious, and that's why I said that I don't feel like it's a game of connection, because Mariah, my friend I went to stay with, this person to, had the same access to her. But there's something they say in my place that Ibiori Danisi, but apart from Ibiori Danisi, I believe that God factor and how well you are able to use the opportunities around you, how well you are able to harness the opportunities around you, how well you are streetwise, you're like, and then ambition. Why is ambition? And then ambition is something, I feel like some people are just so lethargic. They're fine with whatever life throws at them, whatever comes your way. If you have a good picture of where you want to be in life, it might not be clear now, it might not be straight now, but knowing that, this has a possibility of at least taking me up the ladder, then don't sit on your hands and be like, whatever will be, will be. Whatever will be will not always be. Q will not always say that. Anyway, yeah, so I remember that my friend, I'm like, okay, send me your CV, let me see what I can do. I sent a CV to one of my other connects. In fact, there was a time, there was this other guy, I met him in Abuja, but as a corporate. And then after a while, I was like, oh, now he too is done with NYC, but he's looking for a job. So I'm like, okay, let me walk up to the HR department randomly, because I'd now be bothering all the people I knew, all the organs of the bank, that please, my friend, please, I won't go back again. Wisdom is profitable to direct. You don't want to also like destroy relationships, right? So I just went straight to the HR department. Please excuse me, I don't know if you guys are writing any exam or recruiting. There's somebody I know very bright. Guess what? That was it wasn't the last day for submission, but the guy was going to be 30 now. That's the thing with this bank. If you're 30, they don't accept you as an entry-level staff. So the guy was going to be 30 a day after the exams. Like, I almost went on my knees. I was pleading, please let him and the guy worked in the bank for like 4 good years, I think, before he resigned last year. So I feel like when God also knows that you're going to be a blessing to people, I think that's when he can also equip you and give you things that would add value to you. So in all of this, I said it as a story, but for me there are many key points there, and you should take them, be kind, be nice, be street smart. And at the core of all of this was a season in my life that I now started to get close to God. I've been speaking in tongues prior. You guys know that I never joke with that speaking in tongues thing, But, this was the time in my life where I now took this God thing serious. And yeah, everything just worked together, and it's still working together for good for me. So I just hope this video has encouraged you, whatever stage of life you may be, this can be applied. I just hope that this video has encouraged you to go for what you want, and by the grace of God you will get it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends to encourage them, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in.